Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. There have been a lot of requests to do a craft room tour video, so let's get to it. So here is the wide view of my craft room. Most of the furniture in this room is from Ikea. We've done some custom builds. I'm going to start with this wall over here. I don't have a lot of crafty items on this wall, but I love this one because I have lots of family photos on here. And this is a wall that I look at while I'm doing my videos. I have a little shelf unit over here. In this basket, I keep cards that I'm going to send out to friends and family, just a little uplifting, encouraging cards. Here I have a bunch of cards that I've received from lots of crafty friends. So I like to keep all of those. And I actually have a little basket down here with lots more of those cards from friends. This is a little bucket I have of a project I need to work on. I have some oversized stamp sets in this bin. A variety of different brands. This is a sketchbook. This is how I used to always store my sketches. I store them differently now, and I will show you that, but let's have a peek in here real quick. So I used to always print them out and glue them in this composition book. And I started adding the measurements directly on the sketches in case I wanted to refer back to that same sketch again. So it's very thick, full of sketches. And then next, this is a lot of my specialty paper. So I keep it all here. It's Nuvo, a lot of mirror paper, and I have a bunch of glitter paper. And then this set of bins holds more cards. And I have different seasonal, so I have autumn and Christmas, Halloween, thank you. A lot of these cards I keep in those separate containers, so I'll donate them later to different charities, retirement home. And then the bottom part of this unit, this is all of my daughter Penny's craft supplies. It's a little messier than I am. And then here is a look at my craft table. So this was a custom build that my husband made for me, made from Ikea products. I have a couple of tabletops. I have two of them put together, and then they're on top of these shelf units. So they have a 4x2 on the cubby. So I have one on one side and one on the other. We attached them together and then added wheels on the bottom. So that way I could move it if I ever need to. And then there's lots of storage. So I have two more containers with cards, and these are specifically for the retirement home. I keep them in there kind of ahead of time because every month I donate a certain number of cards. So I have winter ones in there right now. I do have 4 drawers, and I'm not going to show everything because not everything in my craft room is actually crafty. So this top drawer, this is all artwork and cards from my daughter Penny. She likes to put them in there to share with me. And then this drawer, I keep storage envelopes. I also have the little sleeves to put cards in. I have some scrapbooks. This is some more of Penny's. There's the envelopes in that top box. And then this one is where I keep a lot of the monthly kit leftovers. So lots of love from Lizzie items in here. I'll put them in a baggie so that I can grab one later if I want to make a few more cards. Have a few containers with cardstock. This is all 8.5 by 11. And then way underneath here, this is where I keep my nail polish. And I don't know if you notice, I don't actually have any nail polish on this time, just haven't made a card for a little while or a video, and I just forgot to put any on. And moving over to this side, there's a lot of personal items in here, household items. I have our scanner, our printer, there's financial stuff, office supplies, so we won't be looking at any of those drawers. This is one of my favorite shelves. I have all kinds of fun camera collectibles and little items. This holds my pens, this beautiful ceramic camera my cousin gave me. Another little thing that holds pens. Love the Post-it holder. Isn't that cute with the camera? And I even have a little Lego set with a little girl, little photographer there. I'm such a shutterbug, so I love camera items. And then this shelf, this container has a Queen & Company bling. And then on top of it, I have this large stack of cardstock that basically too much cardstock. It doesn't fit in with the rest of my cardstock. So I just put it there. I have this pink bag that I take to my monthly craft group. I'll just put my supplies in there. Down here, I have a little more Queen & Company bling. I have a few business cards, and then just a small assortment of some cards. Most of these I take to my church. And then on top, I have a container that holds a bunch of sequins. And I have this cute little 4-drawer storage that goes right in between my larger storage. And I recently bought this, so I don't have a lot in it at the moment. So the top has some card bases that are already creased. There's nothing in this one. I just have some extra storage containers in there. And then the bottom one, I just have some extra plastic bags. Come with a lot of the kits or just the craft supplies. So I put them in here whenever we need a little extra storage bag for something. On top of it, I have just some bags that I've collected over the years. Not ready to part with any of them yet. I'll back up and you can just see a better view of this side of the room. So this storage unit is from Ikea. It's called the Stuva. They do still sell this unit, but they don't have the same colors and they have changed the style. But I love to have all of these drawers. They're great for hiding some of your crafty supplies. We'll go ahead and start with the top. I have a lot of items I've just collected over the years, most of it pink. I have some Queen & Company topping storage containers. And then this row, I have these 6x6 plastic containers. I have 3 of them that are still empty. This set holds a bunch of different bling, and then the rest is all 6x6 paper pads, and I have them organized by company. And moving on to this shelf, I have a few scrapbooks, and then these albums all hold pocket page protectors. And then over here, I do have some 12x12 pattern paper. I don't use it very often, but I hang on to it in case I need it for a larger project. But that is all that I have. We'll go ahead and start with the drawers. And there's a few of them I'm not going to show because, again, they're not craft items. We'll start with this one. So I have 2 heat guns. Originally had the blue, decided to get the pink just because I needed pink. I have some extra Nuvo drops. Just kind of ended up getting doubles. I've forgotten that I own a few of them and ordered the same color again. I have some refills for my ink pads in some of the main colors that I use. And a few other just little extra items for when I run out. This is a bunch of different shaker fillings. I don't use these as often, so I've had them for quite a while. And then next, lots of score tape. I like to use different widths, so I have an assortment of different brands. I have quite quite a few of these thin 3D foam squares. These are one of my favorites when I don't want the thicker adhesive. So I do stock up on those. In the back, I have an assortment of glue dots and then also my label maker. And then next, this is some of my ink pads, and I do store them upside down. Years ago when I started crafting, I was told it was better to store them upside down because that way the ink would go toward the top and they were a little juicier. Have some blending tools in there and then just a few more ink pads. And on the very bottom, this is all Queen & Company product. I own several of their kits, almost all of them. And so this is all of the foam shaker refills. And then I also have some of their glitter foam and their neutral foam. So moving over to this side, we'll start with this drawer. So in here I have Queen & Company foils, the little packs and then also the larger ones. Some of their stickums, which are great for the foil as well as glitter. I have the Xyron sticker maker in the back. Haven't used that in a long time. Just some more refills from Queen & Company kits, and then some of their little plastic flowers. I have some glitter washi tape, and then some extra adhesive as well. And here are more cards. I do have 2 full drawers of cards, and I have them all divided by card themes. So yes, this is a lot of cards. I like to have them on hand just in case I need maybe a birthday card or a thank you card. I can just quickly come over here and grab one. And my mom and some of my friends know that I have cards ready and they are always welcome to use them. So that's the same thing in this drawer. And then next, this is all my watercolor products. I have several different papers and then quite a few inks or paint sets. I don't watercolor very often, but it's nice to have when I do want to. And this drawer, this side is all brads. So I've had these for years and years. I used them a lot more often when I did traditional scrapbooking. I don't use them quite as often now on cards, but it's good to have, and my daughter likes to use them. Let's have a little storage container there in the back. And then this little cubby, I just have a couple of paper pads and bling. I haven't matched them with any cardstock yet, so I'm hoping to do a video on those, and for now I just have them there. And then this drawer is just an assortment of stamp sets. So I have some wood mounted that I love and I just don't want to get rid of, and then some of the red rubber as well. So now we'll move over to the last shelf. First, let me move this little Ikea cart out of the way. So over here is the rest of my cardstock. So the bottom 2 shelves is all 8.5 by 11. And then these are all 12 by 12. And you can see some of these are really stuffed full. So that's why I couldn't put that other stack in the right little container. And then the top shelf, I have some more cardstock. I have white pearlescent paper. There's a little bit of foil paper in there, and then also some Copic friendly paper. I have a small stack of card bases that still need to be scored, and then a couple rolls of the foam dimensional tape. So now I'll go ahead and show you everything on one of my Ikea carts. I actually have 3 of these. The very top holds bags with 6x6 paper pads and then coordinating cardstock. So I've already gone ahead and matched the cardstock. And if I have any ephemera or stickers, I put those in the bag as well. So these are all projects that I'm hoping to do I sometimes buy more than I can ever actually get to. Need more time in the day. On this shelf, I have some Queen & Company twine, some of their glitter sheets, and then also more 6x6 paper pads. On the bottom, I have 3 different containers that hold extra toppings and sequins from monthly kits. I have a few more kits from Queen & Company I still haven't done a video on, so I'm hoping to get to those this year. I have some of their flowers and some of their buttons in this one. All right, moving on to this wall. Got lots of decorations on this wall, which is a lot of fun. And then this is my die cut station and also holds my paper creaser. So I have shared a video about this. It's really large, but this is what I use to crease all of my card bases, and it's super handy. So I will show how to use that in just a moment. So I have some ribbon. I do have more ATG guns. I have the original red, and then another pink, and my daughter has a pink one as well. And then I have a yellow one, which is the 1/2 inch instead of the 1/4 inch. Here are all my embossing folders. And these are containers that I found at Ikea. So they hold all of these just perfectly. So this is all of my dies. So I have 4 different bins, and I keep them in order by company. This whole bin is Queen & Company, and then the rest are a bunch of different companies, but I keep them all together. So there's all MFTs, I have some Spellbinders, there's Pink and Main, Lawn Fawn. And what I use to store my dies, these are actually magnetic vent covers. I buy them at Home Depot. You can buy them at Lowe's. They come in a 15-inch sheet, and I cut them in 3, and then I just slide them inside these small page protectors. And then I put a piece of sturdy cardstock on the back just to make it not so floppy, because it's not the thickest magnet, but it works great for the dies. And there is my die cut machine. I've had this one for many years. Still works great. You just have to buy new plates. So in the center, I have another set of drawers. I have an assortment of stuff kind of shoved on top of there. So in the top drawer, this is some extras from monthly kits. I also have some extra twine in here that didn't fit on my twine rack. This drawer shows all of my punches. I don't have very many anymore. I've gotten rid of most of them. And then this is just some extras from ephemera packs that I've used in videos over the years. And then the very bottom drawer, I do have more 6x6 paper pads. See, I buy them quicker than I can use them. This is my collection of washi tape. And then this bag is all extra foam pieces from Queen & Company's shaker kits. I hang on to them for extra dimension if I need it. I have 2 containers here. This first one has stencils, a bunch of different brands. And the one in the back has more paper pads. This is the larger size. I think this is an 8x8. And this is another custom made table. We used one of the tabletops and then 2 of the little 4x4 units. Bought the little drawers that slide right in. And most of this is not craft stuff. But this very bottom one is. So this is where I keep all of my ATG refills. Every year I purchase a full case from Tape Jungle, because I go through a lot. So there's my 1/4 inch, and then there's 1/2 inch. So just had their Black Friday sale, so I am fully stocked for the year. So let me show you real quick how my paper creaser works. So I have two settings depending on if I want a top fold card or a side fold card. So if I'm going to do the top fold card, slide it in here against the magnets, just pull this down, and it puts a nice crease in there. And then if I want to do the side fold, I'll put it in this direction with the little stopper. And then again, I get that nice crease. So it saves me a lot of time on all the cards that I make. So here are some of the fun items I have on my wall. I have these two little shelves, and these are cards that I've made over the years. I like to change them out for different seasons, just some of my favorite cards. I have a couple cute little items from Queen & Company. This holds all, well not all, but the rest of my ink pads. I have a nice rainbow assortment of Queen & Company toppings. Isn't that just beautiful? Love all of these. And then on the top, I don't know if anybody watched, but I had a video showing me making this little smile picture with some pattern paper I just could not cut up, so I decided to frame it. And then I have this wooden K. This I made for my daughter Penny for her kindergarten photos, and I decided to keep it since it works perfectly for my first name. And then here is most of my twine. I have a lot of twine, but I love to use it, so it's handy to have. A couple more Queen & Company items. And then over here, I have an assortment of collectible pins. And this is my light box. So it's something we made ourselves. This is an Ikea shelf. It's also part of the Stuva line. So I just have a piece of cardstock I put in the background. I have these tiles on the bottom. And then this is the camera that I use to take all of my card photos. Turn my little OT light on, and then we have some other lights put in up top, so it has enough light when I'm taking the photos. And then heading over here, this is my little makeshift box when I'm using sprays. And then this is something my son made to hold my microphone that I'm using right now. And then down here, this little rainbow drawer unit holds all of my solid colored cardstock. So right now, these drawers are really full. So if you ever use these, I would recommend not putting so much paper in them because it makes them harder to open and they actually fall off of the tracks. So I do need to go back through those. My daughter always knows she's welcome to use anything out of those drawers. And this right here is a Project Life custom organization drawer system. This was made by my father. So years ago, I used to use the physical Project Life cards for scrapbooking, and I had a lot of them, and so I sketched out a little design, and my dad made this for me. It has a couple of drawers, and they are, of course, all full of cards. And I don't even do the physical Project Life very often anymore. I've switched to digital, but I love this. My dad did such a good job making it. And this is another thing people have been asking me about. This is how I store my card sketches. So I'll print them off, and then I keep them sorted by website. So we have MFT, just show a few of them. There's an OWH, there's reverse confetti. So I just keep them sorted chronological by website. And this is a nice expandable file folder, and I like that it has a handle so I can take it with me if I'm crafting somewhere else. And here is another one of those Ikea carts. I won't show everything on here The top has some stamp sets. So this whole side is Queen & Company, and then these are all reverse confetti. I keep my mini MISTI over here, a couple other little tools. I have my corner chomper. I have extra die cuts. Sometimes I'll cut out pieces and I just keep them in the bag because I ended up not using them, but my daughter knows she could use them, or my niece if she wants to come over and craft. I have my Brusho powder and then some of the embellishment mousse down here. Just an assortment of papers and files down there. This box holds specialty paper. These are all from Love from Lizzie kits. So I always keep the extra, all the little pieces are in there as well. And then here is my third Ikea cart. And I will pull that one out in just a minute and go through that. But this is my work area. So this is where I sit and make my videos. So directly to the left of me, I have a basket that holds creased card bases, a couple little notebooks. I have with my little piercing mat, a bulletin board with some artwork from my daughter. And then these are brand new. My husband made these for me. They help reduce the sound when I'm doing voiceover. So looking directly at my craft area, I have these 4 bins, and these again are from Ikea. This one holds all of my Love from Lizzie peel-offs. Love these things. I have all of them pretty full. I have each of the 4 different styles, and I will link to as many products as I can in the description box if you want to take a look at any of those. Here are my Nuvo drops, and I do store them upside down. It seems to reduce the bubbles, the air bubbles. I have embossing powders. Most of them are Love from Lizzie embossing powders. She makes really nice embossing powders, super fine. This little container is where I put sequins whenever I'm using a monthly kit. They usually come in little plastic bags and they get very staticky and hard to take out. So I dump them in here. This is just a little piece of paper towel, and then they're easier to use. The last little bucket just kind of has an assortment of different items in there. Even have another Queen & Company basket. I have some extra foam that I just keep on hand if I need to use them right away. And then I do have a monitor on a swing arm. And this is really handy, so when I'm recording, I can actually see what's recording. So I know if I go outside of the lines at all. Got a little video playing at the moment. And then here is just a peek at my setup. So there is a very bright shop light hanging above my craft table. I used to have 2. We removed one, and instead I have these lights. There's 2 of them. And it helps cut down on some of the glare when I use the specialty papers. And then my camera is just mounted right onto my ceiling. Nothing fancy, lots of cords, but my husband did a great job organizing all of that for me. So let me go ahead and show everything on this cart. So this is the cart that sits directly to the left of me while I'm crafting. I have some of my more popular ink pads, browns and blacks, some grays. I have an assortment of liquid adhesives, some glitter pens, and glue dots in there, some of my foam squares, a couple little random items in the back here, some of the anti-static powder, really small roll of my foam dimensional tape, but as you saw, I do have a few more. Here's my assortment of score tape, at least the more popular sizes, and then also some of Queen & Company's red line tape. And some of these items are more my daughter's. There's some colored pencils, another assortment of glues, rulers. I have a couple different jewel pickers to help pick up those tiny parts, little sequins. a little container that just sits, kind of hooks right to the side. I have my scissors, my ATG, some pens, a little paper piercer in here, just some of those popular tools. Down here I have a lot of the stamps that I put on the back of my cards. I have some acrylic blocks. I do have some up here. I think I forgot to show this. A few more acrylic blocks up here, and then I also have a couple different ways to hold the stamp chamois. And then this is some of my smaller stamp sets. Most of these are Lawn Fawn. And then there's just some random stuff in the back. I don't use these quite as often. The bottom shelf, I keep a case of ATG, so it's handy. This is envelopes and a pack of baby wipes. Always good to have some baby wipes. And then moving back to my desk. So underneath here, I still have lots of storage. Some of it is just household stuff, and then I have a few crafty items. There's those 2 boxes back there that hold envelopes. I buy them by the case, and I usually buy several cases, so I'll be set. This pink container is where I put my recycling. So it's nice and convenient. I can just pull it out while I'm crafting. I can drop all of those little scraps into this container. And then my stamp sets are in the same plastic containers that I have my dies from Ikea. And I have them all sorted by brands. I have 5 of those here. And I do try not to go beyond what I can hold in all of the containers. If I get too many, I will pull them out and do a destash. So here's just another quick look around my craft room. If there is something I didn't show, you want a little more information about, go ahead and leave a comment below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.